Eric here from Wrestle Fandom. Right here I have Mike King, owner of Immortal Championship Wrestling. He has a very special message.
We are excited to announce that we have partnered with Wrestle Fandom Radio. They are now the official podcast of ICW.
So you can catch us Wednesdays at noon for all your Immortal news.
See you there.
We're back.
Woo!
We're all here.
We're all here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Terrible Trio is back.
It's Garrett, it's Todd, it's Joe, it's Wrestle Fandom Radio, the official podcast
of ICW.
ICW. It finally happened.
Tasty.
Brought to you by none other than Rockin Horse Tattoo, Seasonal Sports, and Freeman Formula. Guys, this is probably the biggest show ever.
We have so much to unpack.
There's so much, and what's making me mad is I literally loaded in a million different things. I was here. How long? I don't even know.
You're here an hour before the show.
Yeah, and it nuked all my stuff.
Well,
as soon as I hit stream.
I have a theory on that,
jumped,
and not an Austin theory. I have an actual theory on that.
Austin theory.
I know Z and Todd have access to the computers from not being in here. And if Z watched our show 2 weeks ago, and
I don't know, he's been busy.
Dude, he is a devious man, and the fact that he now probably knows about the undisputed hardcore disruption title.
He's jealous.
I think he might be a little angry that we kind of did a little prank on him. Maybe a little bit.
You know, he could be.
He could have. He could have
could be
purposely nuked your content.
You know,
Yeah,
this could be true
the whole time.
Yeah. So,
But thank God we have so much to talk about today.
I can load in a couple things here slowly as we're going through. One of the things I wanted to address of all the important things that also happened there was, if you remember from the last show. Excuse me for not like looking at the camera or looking at you guys again. I'm trying to do all this stuff at the same time.
He likes to avoid eye contact.
He just is looking at himself because he's so beautiful.
I mean,
it's not just me that thinks
I mean, hey. Okay. So
we got a lot of beard going on in this
there's
podcast
a lot
now.
of beard in this podcast,
I
bro. This
love
is the
it.
beard. This is Beard Central over here.
Like when we started Movie Madness, Garrett was pretty much clean shaven. I don't know if Casey can grow facial hair yet, and I had the beard. I love you, Casey. No offense, but it'll come someday, buddy.
So if you remember from the show prior, I tried to stop Sarah and Rain. Okay.
Yes.
From wrestling Brew Van Slyke. Okay. Because Brew Van Slyke is a monster. Okay. And he will destroy you. Okay?
Yeah.
I tried to stop him. He kept telling me to shut up. And then afterwards, I mean, I even caught him and.
You saved his life.
I tried to help the guy.
You probably helped his concussion not be as severe.
So here I am, right? I tried to help this man, right? And this is how he repaid me.
So then, see, I take all the pictures here, and then what I do is I do the. That's for making me wrestle Brute, you idiot!
Like,
You didn't make him do anything.
I didn't make him do anything, dude. Todd had to throw water in my face to wake me up. It was crazy.
Yeah, he wasn't coming out of it for a few.
Dude, your eyes were rolling.
Oh, yeah.
around.
He kicked me cross-eyed.
Yeah.
I was talking to Todd, showing him what I do. It was ridiculous,
That's
dude.
wild, man.
Like, who does that?
No explanation. He just said that and walked away. There's nothing further. So it was just like, what? What?
Well,
I don't even understand what happened.
He's now on my naughty list.
Yeah, he's
I have a little Singapore cane with your name on it now.
Okay, so then again, so now you guys went over the stuff last week. I'm sure
Went over all the matches.
I'm sure people have been, sharing videos and everything.
Oh,
like that.
yeah, I've
but
seen all
obviously they didn't get to see what we captured backstage. So, as everyone knows, Garrett Holiday became the Northeast champ. Okay, and it became the Northeast championship again, and not the Middle Eastern championship like the Greeks and Sheiks have been calling it, right? But he went out there, he did his thing, and he got the belt back. All right, but then I caught the Greeks and the Sheiks in the back. Okay, and then this is what happened. Okay.
Garrett, Holiday! No. This is not how this works. You won the Middle Eastern Championship, but you didn't do it by yourself. So now I have to come for it. I'm the number one.
Hold on, infidel. You're not the number one contender. Blaze Haram is the number one contender. So don't be a jerk job. Get back in line where you belong, infidel. And hear me now, Blaze, it wasn't me. Conman was supposed to be the one to take the bullet. But again, Hacker Amin has to step up. And these hired bums, they came in with all the scumbags of Schenectady to try and take our Middle Eastern champion. It was not Haram. It was not Haram at all.
Whoa. Seriously, this is what they want. Divide and conquer. They're trying to separate us because they know a house divided cannot stand. Listen, guys, tonight was just a little dink in our armor. You know this, I know this, Haram knows this. There's nobody here.
No.
Nada, caneras, nobody.
You've got a little dink there, Holiday.
Oh, you've been talking to his girlfriend, huh?
Yes.
And his boyfriend.
Yes.
Anyway, point being is, this is just a minor setback. We already corrected the course. Because when I stepped into the ring with that big Mama Luke, Brute Van Slyke,
Moron.
he didn't step in the ring with me. He stepped in the ring with you.
That's right.
He stepped in the ring with you.
That's right.
He stepped in the ring with me. And just like that, we squashed you like a grape. Because that's what we do. We are a cohesive unit. The Greeks, the Sheiks, whatever you want to call us. At the end of the day, there's no one smarter. There's no one tougher. There's no one better looking than us. If you guys think you outsmarted us, sunshine, let me explain something to you. We think that you guys are dumb enough to believe it. But now we know for a fact that you guys are dumb enough to believe it because this is what we call a Jedi mind trick. Because the Force is strong with us. And that's not a conspiracy. Like 9/11, right?
No, that was the truth as well, infidel.
It is an absolute fact. Now, Skyros, stay on target, stay on target. I'm coming for you, and I'm getting my championship back.
It's heels over strong, infidels. Write it down. Believe it. YOLO.
They had a lot to say.
So I wonder how
they
that.
always do.
I wonder how that changes the course with Dirty Dango being champ.
Well, if anyone was there, they saw how that happened. Okay, which we'll get to as I'm going down the line of how everything went. So then, as everyone knows, again, the Stetsons remained victorious, still champs over to infinity and beyond, which is a big win because those two guys. I mean, Cheech and Colin Delaney. Holy crap! Still champs. But now they're going to be going. Yes, Complex Mouther, you do need to learn more about ICW. You should come to the Rome show. We've got tickets. By the way, yes, we have tickets.
Yep.
We can sell you tickets. Just hit us up. We'll bring them right to you.
We can also sell you Garrett.
He's cheap. How do you think we make
Not
money?
that cheap.
Unless we get more sponsors, we're still going to sell Garrett on the corner.
So the Natural Destroyers are taking on the Stetsons.
I don't like.
Show. No, okay.
The Stetsons are great and amazing, but I don't see how
if
mathematically they can.
If you think it was bad, watch this.
Garrett here from Wrestle Fandom Radio. Stetsons again victorious. Tell me what happened.
Well, you know something, Garrett? Let's make no mistake about it. When you talk about Cheech Hernandez and Colin Delaney, you're talking about two of the very best indie tag team people on this northeast coast. That's where we are, right? Northeast?
Yeah, I would say
yeah,
so.
sounds about right. Let alone all over the place. Those guys are a cut above the rest. And tonight was our night, and you pinned Colin Delaney.
Yeah.
Which is not an easy thing to do. So with that, Garrett, I say to you, we go to August 13th,
yeah.
Rome, New York, and if my memory serves me correctly, new #1 contenders were crowned tonight. Well, Destroyers, let's make no mistake about it. We're not ready to end this party, and you guys, we're not hard people to find.
Oh, you're not? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're not? I'm fine either. You're not, huh? It's up here. We're right here. Right, that's good.
Yeah, I'm right here, huh?
You're right here. Don't know.
We're not even going. I'm not scared of you. I know him. White flag has nothing to do with this.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Great job, Garrett. You did a really good job making sure that didn't happen.
What was I supposed to do? I'm one guy in between four, and two of those guys are the natural destroyers. Like,
I'm gonna make that into a T-shirt.
What would you have done?
I would be like, yo.
No, yeah, wait, yeah, what? So Nick Sullivan can throw you through the wall? Like, no, dude.
That's why you take the cane with you, bro.
No. I'm not smashing the talent here. I mean, come on. Like,
I mean, if the talent tries to smash me, it's got two names on it now.
They weren't coming after. It was a crazy thing that, I mean, the yelling, the oh my God, I never quite.
Are you
see,
okay?
Oh, it had nothing to do with me. I was fine.
I didn't know
just
you're
didn't want them
traumatized.
I just didn't want that big of a fight going down way there. Dude, no, you wouldn't have done anything.
I hope I never get no fight because I know Garrett got my back.
Complex says this is why keeping a tennis racket or a chair with you is important.
Well, Complex, I roll with my kendo stick wherever I go, just in case I'm double teamed, triple teamed, or see something that needs to be handled.
I thought you liked being double teamed.
Oh,
low hanging fruit. It was right there. What did you want me to do?
That's also
okay.
why I have my kendo stick.
Okay. So then, as you said before, now we know that Dirty Dango is now the ICW champ, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But Mike Skyros was distracted by Greek God Papadon. Okay. And of course, like he always does, Papadon had something to say about it.
Skyros, λένε ότι ο διάολος που δεν ξέρεις είναι καλύτερα από το διάολο που ξέρεις. They say that the devil you don't know is better than the devil you do. Well, tonight, I proved it wrong, because this devil's looking you right at the face. And I'm telling you, I was coming for you. And I'm telling you that I was going to get even with you. Well, Sunshine, how does it feel to get something stolen from you? I guess what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But tonight was just the beginning of my redemption, beginning of my revenge. It's not over, Sunshine. Watch your back.
So it looks like it's not even about the belt anymore.
It's not. It's
personal now.
It's super personal. It's getting ridiculously crazy. And then, Skyros is not, usually afraid to talk about anything. If you've seen everything here before, but he was a little miffed, a little distraught. Actually, here, I'll just have you look at it.
Just trying to catch Mike Skyros here. Hopefully, it's crazy. Mike. I know what happened out there is crazy. Do you want to talk about it? No. I'm sorry, Mike.
I mean, he didn't even want to talk to me.
It was a disappointing loss for him. It wasn't. It was just.
It really was. So now already, he's going. He doesn't even have the rematch set yet. He's going to be taking on who he was supposed to take on last month in the first place, and he's going to be wrestling Max Caster in Rome, which is
awesome.
Dango's wrestling caster?
No,
Oh,
no,
Skyros.
Mike Skyros is wrestling. Dango, for the belt, is wrestling none other than Sean Carr.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those matches have already been announced, and like I said, we already know that the Stetsons are taking on the Destroyers. They've named a couple other people. The card is filling up quick. You want to be at this Rome show.
Oh,
okay?
100%.
And as far as the last show goes, obviously we also know that Coffin is still our champ. He took on, okay, I don't know who this guy was. Okay, he just showed up in the back. He was just wearing all blue. He had a blue lucha mask. He comes out. He's riling up the crowd. This guy was just pure heel. His name was Billy Blue Balls. Okay, I mean, he didn't stand a chance against Coffin, but it was still a very entertaining match. It was good. So he's still going to be in Rome. He's still our champ. And then you need to also check out our page as we shared a video of something that happened, and Wicked was attacked. Just go and watch the video, because you guys, and follow all the Ataxia stuff, because you're gonna want to see what's going on with them, what happened with them, because look like Ataxia's under some fire here. And I don't think that's smart, but hey, I just report the stuff. I don't make any. I can't tell anybody what to do. I mean, obviously,
right.
Listen, look what happened with Siren Rain. Told me we shouldn't do. Now I'm getting super kicked in the face.
I just wonder who the poor bastard is going to have to face Coffin, or who has the balls to face Coffin.
Yeah, I mean,
or who has the blue balls to face Coffin.
Even Billy Blue Balls didn't make it here. All right, so
Billy Black and Blue Balls.
So yeah. So now, as well as we know, Gangrel is also going to be in Rome. So I'm talking. Dirty Dango, Max Caster, and Gangrel are all going to be at the Rome show for ICW. Guys, ICW is blowing up. You have to be at the Rome show.
Yeah.
We have tickets. You can get them at Dippin'. You can get them. There's check their page. You can get them everywhere. You can also get them through us. Helps us out. Helps them out. Helps everyone out. All right.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, on to
the world of everything.
The world of everything.
Holy crap.
We've got our stuff out of the way. We've got the ICW stuff out of the way. This could not be a better week to talk about.
This is a crazy
wrestling.
week. So last Thursday evening, it was announced Vince McMahon has retired completely from WWE. Then, the next day, Friday, I want to say probably about 4 o'clock.
About 24 hours later, yeah.
It was announced that Triple H was completely back in his role, and that Stephanie and Nick Khan are officially co-CEOs. And Stephanie started off SmackDown just essentially like not even addressing herself as the new CEO, more as kind of like a thank you to Vince. And then Sunday, I believe it was Sunday, it was announced that Triple H, Saturday or Sunday?
I thought it was Monday. Maybe it was Sunday.
I want to say it was the day before. It was announced that Triple H is now completely in charge of creative. And Monday was the first, I want to say the TV 14 that we saw.
Is it yet? Is it back to 14?
Well, they showed the blood with the Street Profits match at the end.
Really?
True, yeah.
Like that last match, there was blood. Lots of blood on the face. And so that's a lot in itself to unpack. Because for the first time since 1980, Vincent Kennedy McMahon is completely not in control of what we see every Monday, every Friday, and pay-per-views. We are, and I know it's something in the last year we've talked about. I've talked about for years that Vince had lost his finger on the pulse of the wrestling world. And it's a crazy, crazy time, one, to be alive. And I don't want to downplay anything that he's done, because without Vince, wrestling would not be what it is today. It would not be a nationally televised thing. It wouldn't be something that we all grew up loving and falling in love over again and hating. It's the most tumultuous relationship I've ever been in.
Wouldn't be sitting here on a podcast if it wasn't for Vince. You know,
his idea of taking the best wrestlers from the territories and creating a national show, it's given us a legacy. It's given us WCW. It's given us TNA. It's brought us to AEW. It's brought us my whole entire life joy. And it's not condoning the things he's done, because we've, like, even today there's been more things that have come out about how he's carried himself and performed business. And it's not condoning that any stretch of the imagination. But I do want to say thank you for creating a vessel for us to live vicariously through.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Triple H is in charge of creative.
That's my
Triple H is in charge of creative.
And did you see also it was announced like Pritchard's like not
Pritchard's gone.
Pritchard's gone, which thank God as well.
Laryngitis gone.
Oh, yo, John Laryngitis, he can go too.
Like it's
see you later. Mothra or Complex says it's love hate, but it's more love than hate. Yeah. But yeah, which is true. I mean, that's it's.
Like there's so
it's way more love than hate, but you have to be able to say like yes, you gave us all this stuff, but you are in your 70s, you are almost 8. Like you have to be able to step back and know you should be able to look at the tools that you have as the people that are underneath you to know that you would make these people would make the better choices. And Stephanie and Triple H are going to make the best choices for the company. They're going 100%. To keep it going. Like she's going to make the better business choices, and he's going to make the better best creative choices.
100%.
Because look at NXT Black and Gold when he had it. I will refer to that all
Look
the
at
time.
His career when he had it. Like when he had control over what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like essentially from DX on, like he had pretty much all creative control, with Vince having the final say of who won, who lost. But those storylines, those things that we grew up loving and still talk about to this day, Triple H was a big creative force behind all that. And it's a great new world. And so like he had a chat with the locker room before Raw, and essentially what he said is like, listen, don't be afraid to approach me. Come with me to ideas. I want open lines of communication. I'm not going to berate you. I'm not going to shoot. I want this. I want you guys to be happy to be here. And all right, let's see how I want to unpack this. So there have been lots of different rumors and thoughts and everything, and I know, like, I was just reading a Wrestle feed that a big name has approached Triple H about returning to the company, and they wouldn't give the big name's name. But I thought it was really, really funny that the day before, or it might have been the day of Vince announcing his retirement, Bray changed his, or tweeted something quoting Vince in there. Does Bray come back SummerSlam? Who knows?
I think that focus is going to be on Edge.
Well, I think, in my opinion, Edge coming to take down Judgment Day, he brings Bray with him. Cause he's not going to be able to take
a new brood.
essentially something along those lines, like, because he can't take Judgment Day by himself.
No.
Edge coming back, Edge has to have somebody with him. And
I think a new Brood, if you were to do it with 3 people, it would be sick if it was Edge, Bray Wyatt, and AJ Styles.
That could be dope.
That would be fucking dope.
Wow.
I know I don't normally swear on this show, but I mean, think about if it was like if they came up from the thing and it was the 3 of them. Like you're gonna take that on? No, you're not. Like that's AJ Styles. And first off, AJ Styles and Edge alone would be sick.
But you need power. You need power over there.
But AJ needs to change before that. That's the problem. He's not like John Cena, but he's not like a dark character. Edge has been a dark character.
But
he's come back. He's gone in forth, and Bray too.
I think he could pull it off. Though, if he was to do a slightly edgy, you know what I mean? To
tap into his Bullet Club persona here.
Yeah,
he can do
to
that
have
easy.
to come out with the hood and just come out and then, like just tap into the
100%.
The AJ Styles from Impact, and then just boom, take off, get in the ring and, destroy everybody because he's AJ Styles. Complex thinks it's Mordecai and they're swerving everyone.
Could be.
That's a safe call. I mean, hey.
Do we know who Complex is yet?
I don't know. I'm not.
Complex, do we know you?
Yeah.
Do we know you?
Yeah, because like the name comes up in here and like I don't know. I could know Complex, but
it's more fun when you don't.
Yeah, it's like hey, we have someone who
that was for my 20s. I like to know who my who I'm doing a little dance with. But a couple things I want your guys' thoughts and ideas on as we move forward, because there's been reports coming out that Vince was saying socially unacceptable things, like especially to like the announcers and everything from Gorilla in meetings, kind of making racial things, using terms and stuff that weren't exactly best. PC. And I know these kind of things are going to come out now. I don't want to focus on them so much. Like, we'll report them as they come out, whatever. But I want to talk about right now is, do they open the forbidden door?
They need to give it a little time.
No, I'm not talking about immediately.
But
I'm talking like within next year. Because I feel like it's the only natural thing to happen.
They need, if they wanted to, okay, first off, before we dive any deeper into that, Complex said he started listening when Dr. X did his local Music Monday. He's a SoundCloud level rapper in Liverpool.
All right, thank you.
Well, we appreciate you watching when you watch.
Yeah.
And commenting. I always try to say if anyone's commenting,
you ever want to send us a hot take or something?
Yeah.
Record it, send it in. It'd be nice to put a little face to this guy. Probably the guy that we talk to the most on here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think if they want to crack the forbidden door open, I think they've already done a little bit with Impact.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think because we know that AEW has worked with Impact before, when that deal that they had, they were sharing champions and all that stuff. Before something like that happens again, I think it would be smarter for WWE to lock that down. If they wanted to, because they could elevate that company just by
100%.
doing, imagine, like we said it with other stuff. Imagine if the Intercontinental Champion showed up on Impact and just started wrestling like somebody,
Imagine if CM Punk was number 30 at the Royal Rumble next year.
That's something.
Things like that. It's just like there's so much opportunity.
That's what I've been telling. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that since this show started years and years ago. I'm like, imagine you would not get a bigger pop ever in wrestling again than Punk 30, and just because of how much he hates Triple H. Which is another subject I want to get to later on.
Now, so my thoughts were very similar along the lines of what you're saying. But I was thinking the smart thing to do, because like especially since they're trying to bolster the international audience and everything, is they do something in New Japan. That to me would make even more sense, and then they'd be able to utilize things like the Bullet Club, which a lot of their guys. Because I read another article today when Vince started seeing these Bullet Club T-shirts show up in the shows. He was like, "What is this Bullet Club?" They told him, he's like, "I want that. I want them." And he did over the years get quite a few members of the Bullet Club in WWE. Some of them aren't there anymore, but.
Yeah, but enough of them are to where if they were to
Can you imagine that? A partnership between New Japan to bring New Japan to the United States in an official manner could be a huge next level thing. And to share talent with New Japan, WWE wrestlers going to New Japan and vice versa. Can you imagine at WrestleMania being WWE versus New Japan?
I mean, they could broker a deal to where there's, you know how they have like the sub channels in Peacock of, you know, and then to even further break it down, like a New Japan tab that you go to, you can just watch all this New Japan.
Right, and that's exactly along the lines I'm thinking of. Like, that's something that...
But do you think that would start a new type of wrestling war to would be like, okay, who's got who?
Well, and see, that's
like
the thing,
then they would have to.
AEW's been doing stuff with New Japan, and then
Yeah, but it's like they've been doing stuff with them, but they don't necessarily have them. It's New Japan.
Because you're telling
me co-hosting, but AEW has Ring of Honor,
right?
You know,
and question, Garrett, who's the Ring of Honor champion right now?
That would be Claudio.
How awesome is that? He finally gets a world championship out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, complex things. So buy more territories. I mean, yeah, that's what
that.
Even if it is not so much necessarily like buying it more as like
brokering deals
to where they're exclusive then to each other. I mean, you'd be opening the forbidden door, but only so far, because you'd be essentially the second coming of WWE as far as or like how WWF started, taking everybody from the best territories and making one national company that had never been done before. So now they would be brokering deals with more, not only national companies, but international companies as well.
There's so many thoughts that go through my head. Like,
so much can happen.
Picture on like a pay-per-view, you have Rollins versus Reigns. They're about to go at each other, and then out of the crowd, hooded sweatshirt, jumps the barricade, hood comes off, and you got Moxley come in and just destroying both of them. Like,
I think the problem was Vince, and I think there were so many wrestlers that left. And they were like, we don't. Now that he's gone, you're either going to see wrestlers go back.
Oh, you 100% will.
Or you are going to have more of a camaraderie between the companies, being able, wanting to work with each other.
Speaking of going back, if I could ask Triple H for anything to happen, for him to do anything, I would have him take Tommaso Ciampa out of any storyline he has right now and literally charge him with going to NXT and taking over and bringing back the black and gold. Like literally going, maybe taking anyone else that he wants to, and almost starting a black and gold faction there,
right? To
where that is just going to take over and get rid of the splash colors and we'll take you over for this and
Well, I think their title card for yesterday was different too. It wasn't the splash color too.
No, I was unaware that Shawn Michaels isn't in charge of that.
Yeah, well,
in charge of NXT.
He is.
Shawn Michaels.
No, he's been like a
consultant or whatever.
Yeah, he builds the matches and stuff like or not.
But Vince has had final say on it since they took Triple H out of there. There's so much. Like, how about Roman Reigns promo to start off?
Yeah,
Raw this week.
Daddy's not here anymore.
Daddy's not here anymore.
How? That was the first time where I feel like where Theory looked uncomfortable.
I feel like Theory went over with that with the fans, because the fans love heel Reigns. Like, they love hating him.
Yes.
And I feel like for the last 6 months, Vince has been trying to make the fans like Theory. That moment made me like Theory. Like, made me wanted to see Theory just smash Roman Reigns in the face. That put me behind Roman Reigns saying that line to Theory.
Yeah, but you already have a natural hate for Roman Reigns.
But I've liked this version of Reigns. I've gotten behind, but that put me behind Theory, and I essentially feel like if they keep going this way with Theory, they're turning him face, which I think might work out better for him. And if you put him, because like he's got the case. Roman Reigns has both the titles. There's only one person he can cash in on unless something happens at SummerSlam and Brock gets.
Complex is agreeing with you.
Like
pretty much word for word.
Like it was crazy. It just took that little moment, and like Roman Reigns with these very simple promos, this very cockiness, like "What's up, dog?" Like
I don't want to talk anymore. Here you go.
Right,
you know,
right. Like it's working very, very well. But the thing too with the bloodline right now too is something has to change. Either the Street Profits need to win at SummerSlam, or Theory cashes in.
The Street Profits absolutely need to win at SummerSlam.
They deserve
and I heard rumblings of they were going to be broken up. I think Triple H that has to get killed because he knows that.
What is the tag division right now?
In my opinion, they're the best tag team in WWE.
There is no
Street
tags.
Profits. They're extremely likable.
Oh, 100%.
They're amazing in the ring. I'm not trying to take away anything from any other tag team because the best tag team in the world is FTR.
Oh,
flat out. You know what I mean? There's a reason they're holding 3 championships right now.
But in WWE, like you have not more than a handful of tags right now. You have the Usos, you have New Day. RK Bro's broken up because Orton's hurt.
Street Profits.
What, the Viking Raiders?
Alpha Academy. Change their name back for the love of God.
First of all, the first thing Triple H needs to do.
Get rid of the gimmicks.
That and that shoosh crap that what's-his-face does in Alpha Academy. Gable.
Yeah.
Like, have you heard that thing?
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be annoying. He's supposed to be annoying.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what?
I think he's doing a good job as a heel because you want to slap him in his face. And I like him as a wrestler. When he was in NXT with the other dude.
Kurt Angle's son?
Yeah.
Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan,
Yeah, Jason Jordan. What was their name? It wasn't an Alpha something?
They were the Alpha.
Why can't I think of it? But I mean, he was on someone's shoulders, getting ready to have a move like done to him from the top rope, and he caught the guy, and then gave him a belly to belly off of the guy's shoulders. It was unbelievable. Like it was the move of the
American
year.
Alpha.
American Alpha. Yeah. Thank you. It's.
Oh, and absolutely,
he's awesome.
He's a great wrestler. It's just. And I get it's there for an annoyance, but there's also a point where things are just too annoying.
It's too annoying.
And then it takes it away from anything, and you're just like, I just don't want to listen, period.
You don't even want to hear him.
You know, I mean, you want those heels and you want those people to grind on you because that's what makes them a heel and makes you whatever.
Right. Yeah,
but when it gets beyond that, you're just like...
He's got to do it, like, maybe once. You know, like Miz is, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
But the problem is it's also...
like their excuse me.
Music.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And how about this?
Like, shush, and then boom, it hits. You know what I mean? Yeah.
How about Miz and Logan Paul?
Now, I think it's actually going to be good.
Logan Paul had I can't stand him.
He pulled off move. Maybe it's because I expected nothing from him.
The dude's an athlete. I can't stand him at all as a person, as a YouTube, as whatever he is. But pairing him with Miz is such a good idea because Miz is such a good worker.
Yeah.
Miz can literally put anybody over.
He can put anybody over.
And Logan Paul has, coming from MMA and everything, like he in his intensity and everything else. Like, I'll tell you, I'll be very, very honest. When it was announced he was signed, I was it was almost like the whole Gronk signing and like everything else like that. Like I could care less. But it seems like he's come to play and he's come to stay. And if he brings that intensity, and he has the opportunity to be a very good heel. And I read the same article that you were talking about, Todd, in the group text, where they chose to start Raw off with that brawl because they didn't want to start Raw off with Logan Paul coming out with the booze.
Yeah.
And started, like, honestly, I love the fact that it started off with a brawl. Like, that was something, like, you haven't seen something like that in a long time.
And I think that was a statement in and of itself.
I 100%
Everyone's
agree.
gonna be like, well, something's gonna be different. Yeah, something is gonna be different. And it
started off
with a fight.
You didn't start off with Vince coming down or Stephanie coming down or look, it's your tribal chief, Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman coming. You started off kicking ass, and that's where this year zero of AV after Vince, and then the last 42 years have been DV during Vince. So that's how we're going to time frame things now. So this year will be WrestleMania 1.
Now the PG era is over as well. So now
AV. Okay.
That's good. We're going to refer to current stuff now as after Vince.
It's AV.
It's going to be AV because it was... We've named all of our eras, and the PG era has been so long. It's been way too long.
Well, and the other
PG era has
thing,
been
too,
like,
starting,
15 years now?
Oh, at
if
least.
not longer.
I think it's been longer than that.
17 something. Ugh, it's been
but
crazy.
starting it with that brawl too is also because anybody that tuned in at 10 after 8. Oh man, I missed that. So it's also going to try to pull people to be like, oh, it's 8 o'clock or it's 7:59. I got to make sure I put it on, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, because I don't know what's going to happen now. Before it was predictable. The show would start and there would be a promo. Usually way too long of a promo. And then there would be some match or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, AEW does it.
12 years.
12 years.
2008. No, it'll be 14 years.
14 years.
AEW does it. They start with a match.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's what people want to see. Then you do your next promo, whatever.
And not just the match. One of the best matches of the night is going to be the first match.
Well, and so
always, consistently.
I wanted to talk about this last week. I didn't have a chance. When I went down to D.C. 2 weeks ago, I listened to the John Moxley autobiography, which is absolutely amazing. I've always loved Mox. It gave me a new appreciation for Mox. And part of the reason Tony Khan does that is because they're big-name guys like, well, with Mox, when he had the drinking problem, all he wanted to do was have a beer, and he didn't want to wait a whole 2 hours till he could go have a beer, so he would tell Tony Khan, hey, put me on first. He does the segment, then he can go off. He'd have a cooler. He'd have an 18-pack in the back in the locker room in a cooler. And so that's what started them putting the big names on first. Because Mox was like one of those first guys. So that started that tradition of doing that. But it's different with AEW too, because unless you've been to an AEW show, you don't know that they shoot Dark, Rampage, or Dynamite, and then Rampage all in unison. So they've actually been wrestling for an hour before Dynamite even goes on the air. So you've been watching matches, you're seeing everything going. That's why it's so easy for them, where with WWE, they're starting off cold. And to start off with something like that, for the first time in a long time, I'm very excited for 8 o'clock on Friday. Not just to see is Vince going to address what happened? Stephanie said she's starting off SmackDown with... I want to see what happens. I'm starting to get excited again for the first time in... I don't even know. And they said that a lot of SummerSlam was set already, but Triple H is looking to see what he can add to it. The big thing that was said in the statement too, see if anything can be changed organically.
Yeah.
Not just to do something to do something, which has been a very big issue for the last 10 years or so.
He was just doing it to do it.
Shocking off things that just, they think this is going to happen? Well, I'm going to do this. things that happen that should happen, that happen more naturally. And, like, I'm excited to be a wrestling fan again. Like, I'm excited not to be like, oh, well, you know, I'm going to watch AEW and then check on Bleacher Report what happened in Raw or SmackDown. I'm excited to see the lead up to SummerSlam. I'm excited to watch SummerSlam. And we'll go over the card at the end of the show. It's a fairly smaller card. There's only 9 matches announced for it, which to me gives each one of these guys 10, 12, some of the bigger matches, 20 minutes to let it all hang out.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
I
is
think-
amazing.
I think the cards should be smaller, which is what when they had the brand split and then they were doing
Every month.
there was
Each
the
brand
show
got one,
every 2 weeks. I actually liked that a lot better, even though there was a lot more stuff to watch. But I liked it because the events were smaller.
Yeah.
So everyone was getting more of their stuff, and then they're like, I don't know, maybe they thought they were flooding their own market.
I personally thought it was oversaturation.
Right. So, but it made the cards smaller, which made the events more watchable, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, you were seeing that everyone was getting their stories through instead of sharing, you know, and only certain stuff. And then you weren't burying titles like the Intercontinental just gets crapped on. I feel like over the past, every year it's just gotten, its status has just gotten worse.
I read a report that he's looking to bring the IC and the United States titles back into prominence.
Prominence, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I
but,
really hope so.
But here's the thing, Garrett. Like, you need to earn a spot on a pay-per-view, in my opinion. That's how it used to be.
Yeah.
Just because you're a talent in the company doesn't necessarily, to me, mean you should be on the pay-per-view. No. Doesn't mean that I need, a big pre-show to show the talent. The talent has a shot every week at the house shows to showcase to now Triple H and to whomever, put me in, coach. Putting somebody on a stupid 4-minute pay-per-view match is not the place. A pay-per-view, and that's been a big issue of WrestleMania over the last 5-6 years, is they want to give everybody a spot in WrestleMania. You got to earn your spot. Like, I don't want to see you.
I don't want 2 nights of WrestleMania, man. They got to stop.
I don't want you on my pay-per-view unless I want to watch you. I don't want to see the Viking Raiders wrestle Alpha Academy in SummerSlam.
No.
Like, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be getting up, making a sandwich, grabbing a beer, and then coming back, hoping that the match is just about over so I don't have to sit through it. Because guess what? They haven't, in my opinion, earned that top spot to be on there. Like, you're not even in the talks for the tag belts. Like,
well, yeah, it's like, why are you wrestling? Why are you there?
Like, and you don't have a storyline.
I agree. That's what I think should. It's they always have like the Night of Champions. It's all the belts. In my opinion, like Night of Champions shouldn't matter because every event should be where the champs are.
Oh yeah.
And unless you have people who like a big huge story, like somebody if Randy Orton isn't holding the belt, but he's got like a big storyline going with somebody else.
Right.
Then have that as your opening match, and I'm sick of them burying titles. Like titles are supposed to be titles. Like
they're supposed to be there for a reason.
Yeah, that's where all
of that.
That's where all your guys should be. And I was with Steve White the other day. We were talking about a ton of wrestling because he and I are the ones that went to Rage, and we were talking about wrestling for like a while. And he even said, he's like, it should be the U.S. title, the IC title, and then your biggest championship, and then and I feel like that's how it should be. You've got 2 mid-card titles. Make one standing above the other, like slightly, and then and then move on. You know what I mean?
Well, like even with them having the different shows, having them equal but one on each show, that's fine. Like that doesn't bother me. Like take the Logan Paul Miz. They want to showcase a new talent. They have animosity because they were teamed up at WrestleMania. Now that's fine. I'll watch that on my pay-per-view. I like good storytelling. Give me good storytelling. Give me championship fights that I want to see, and stop being like, here are all my toys. I want to show you this one. I want to show you this one. Boop, 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 boop. All right, now here's my other toys. Nah, screw that. Give me my top guys, the guys that I'm buying merch for, the guys my kids want to see. I don't want to see. Have you ever seen anybody wearing a Vikings Raiders shirt?
No.
Have you ever seen anybody
they're
wearing
a sick tag team. They should be one of the bigger tag teams.
They need to. That gimmick needs to be gone, and they need to be the Viking Raiders. But
what were they before they were the Viking Raiders?
I don't.
It was still Raiders, right? It was something.
Along
now they're the vicious Viking Raiders, is what they were called a few times on Monday. Even my girlfriend was like, "What the?"
Get rid of the Viking gimmick. Let them keep the Viking name if they want, because they're Vikings. But give me something believable, because guess what? I know I'm not going to walk down the street and see some dude in a fucking Viking hat wearing armor and whatever. That's not believable to me.
I'm going to stand in front of your house wearing that now.
Yeah. I'll text you my address.
Cool.
But
give them a month off.
Yeah.
Right?
Just come back and be fresh.
Switch the tag titles over. Have the have Street Profits then being hey, we smashed this team, we won it from this team, then we smashed this team. And then just have them in almost plain clothes. Come
the
out
Raiders,
smash them. You know what I mean? And just be like, no, we're back.
Yes. And give Alpha Academy somebody to talk for.
War Raiders. Thank you, Stu. Stu's on.
Yeah.
Stu, when you can come back.
Stu. He also said Logan Paul needs to get over his babyface obsession. But yeah, War Raiders, and then they were War Machine on the Indies.
Yes.
As well. What's up, Stu? I love you.
I'm still, it's been a year now. Stu hasn't come in, and then I guess.
Well, he works during the day. He works when we're on.
Take a day off, man.
Yeah.
Record something, send it in.
If he's on vacation, he should definitely come in. That'd be awesome. You heard me, Stu. If you're on vacation,
the chair's open, Stu.
Get your little tushy here.
There's.
You haven't met Stu. He's awesome.
No,
he's awesome.
There's so much.
Well, the other thing they really need to do, because it's without them saying it, it's pretty much come to fact that they're not split up anymore. The red brand and the blue brand, they're pretty much interacting with each other. Get rid of 8,000 belts. Tag team belt, champ belt, that's it.
IC belt. You need the mid-card belt.
Well, no. I'm saying you don't need the Usos wearing 4 belts. You don't need Roman having 2 belts. The brand split is pretty much.
I read an article about that.
But do you guys think the brand split should in fact be
over?
No, not or should it be back in?
I hate the brand split. I think it's stupid because then you limit everything and it's just dumb. Have everybody just do everything together.
There's several reasons they initially did the brand split. It gives the wrestlers more time off. And gives them more time at home, gives them more time to heal instead of doing 2 less.
But then they also need to stop doing house shows. Then they need to start doing shows the way AEW does shows, because that is real freedom as a wrestler, in my opinion. Because it's if they do a house show this day, and then this day, and this day, and then they have both shows, it's when are they actually home? They actually still are traveling that much, and they either need to stop house shows, because I understand why people still go to house shows to actually see people that they like, but I don't go to WWE house shows anymore. One, between working behind the scenes in an indie company and seeing how, and then the cost, and then knowing that what you're going to watch does not matter. In my opinion, is a hard thing for me.
It's funny you say that, because this week at work, there's a house show on Sunday locally, and everybody at work's like, "Oh, did you go to the WWE show?" I go, "No." They're like, "Well, why not? You're a wrestling fan." I go, "It doesn't mean anything." I was like, I'm not paying that much money.
On people who went.
No, absolutely not. I'm not paying that kind of money, because if I'm going, it's not just me going. It's me going. It's my kids going. It's my girlfriend going. So there, I'm paying like $600.
Did you go?
No.
No. Yeah.
It's paying $600 to watch something that doesn't matter, that's not televised, where I can get tickets for half the cost to go see a live on TV AEW show.
Yeah.
Like
It actually continues the storyline.
Right.
Yeah. And everything we watched. I mean, like I said, the tickets for the show we went to were $43.
Right.
Okay. And we watched 3 shows.
Correct.
We watched Dark. We watched Dynamite. We watched
Dynamite and
Rampage.
It's like.
But even then, there was
You
stuff
paid,
after Rampage.
Yeah,
went
and there
off
was
the
stuff
air,
you
and there
don't
was stuff-
see.
Yeah,
There was, and the amount we paid was way better. And you essentially watched a house show in 2 shows.
Right.
It
Well,
was
the
like,
other thing with house shows, and this has happened, is you have a whole story set up or whatever for pay-per-view, and then somebody gets hurt at a house show. And it's happened. And then they tell you, well, at this one show, this is what
and
happened.
that's
now
why
they're
they
out.
have
And then,
a camera run.
Yeah.
They have a smaller camera crew record them in case something like that happens.
But
because
why risk
it was
your
like
talent,
when the first time I think it ever happened wasn't it Shawn Michaels in the IC belt?
I think so, yeah.
Everyone's like, because that's when that was the belt of Raw, and they had to it switched over, and they're like, hey, so everyone knows we're at a house show and this happened,
And nothing like the last time, I want to say AJ Styles won a belt at a house show and they recorded it.
Yep.
This was maybe 5 years ago. But like nothing significant happens at the house show. Well, I'm going, I love going to see wrestling and everything, but I'm not paying $150 to
Nothing's going to happen.
Nothing
Or it's all
significant.
predictable. You know. You can walk in and be like, this person, this person, this person, they're all going to win.
Because guess what? Every single one of those house shows is the same as the house show they did last week. And
it also says, oh, this person's taking on this person for the championship belt. You know it's not going to change hands.
Right.
No.
You know it.
But the only match I know of that happened and the result was the Riddle-Seth Rollins match at the house show Sunday.
Right.
And do you guys want to take a guess who won it?
I'm guessing Seth Rollins won.
No. Riddle won it.
Oh.
Really?
Well, it seems
But
like
again, is anything?
he's kind of getting a push.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah, he is kind of getting a push.
Which
I
like that they're going back to, and this is just me from a personal thing, going back to what they kind of used to speak about in the 90s, in the Attitude Era, and letting the announcers just randomly throw pot references out there. They did it, Monday when they were like, it was Graves, and he was like, the Prophets are looking for the smoke, or Riddle can find it for him.
Yeah,
and
I
then
did hear that.
was like, it's 420 somewhere, Byron, and it's just like, oh, all right, which shows again they're changing. They're they used to the Road Dogg and all them used to Godfather. They all used to it was there. Now I'm
RVD.
yeah. But then it was like no. But then when Riddle and even for a while with the RK Bro, there was a 420 RK Bro shirt and jacket, and Orton was throwing out references, and But I've also heard a lot of stuff about a lot of those guys paying fines up front so they don't get fined, and Orton is one of those people.
Stu says he'd make time for a specialty show. Well, he's in luck because we will at some point be shooting the AKWF special, and if anyone doesn't know, no one's gonna know no one's gonna know what AKWF.
I've been explained, and I can't wait to host this show.
Me and Stu and Scott, who's been on
Movie Madness,
and makes graphics for the graphic videos for us, and some other people who have.
Garrett used to have a
backyard wrestle. And we have a little bit of footage from it, which is it's terrible, but
that's always the best footage, though.
Yeah, but it was a big thing for us, and I mean, at one point, people were coming to watch. I think the most we had at one show when people came and watched, we had like 25 people came and watched. I mean, for
that's
jackasses wrestling in a backyard.
that's a lot of people, honestly.
I
mean, you know what I mean? Like
some indie shows don't even get that.
We didn't even ask people. Like everyone's like, "Oh, you guys wrestling?" We're like, "Yeah." And then just all of a sudden, this one show, we're like, "Yo, there's like almost 30 people here. Let's what are we doing?" And we amped it up, and it was pretty big, and yeah, that's going to be a nice big long show. You know, we gotta work on. We gotta stream Jordan in because he lives in Boston, and I gotta get so many people in here. That's gonna be
gonna
be hard to do.
You gotta get the footage, either me or Scott, to break up and upload the footage. And everything. And
I mean, it's
get the clips in there.
Yeah, we gotta show some at least just some clips. You know, because it was. One of the matches we have it's like 9 minutes and like 40 something seconds. It's a fucking masterpiece. Okay, it really is. If you were to sit there and watch it, it's Stu, Fred Lemon, and Joe Perry for a belt that we had called the Adrenaline Division belt, the A belt. Oh my God. It was such a good match. It was stupid. You would think that these guys are wrestling on a trampoline with crap underneath it. It can't be that good. It's really good. It's a really good match. Anyways, I digress. But yes, dude, we will have an AKWF special that we will be shooting. I don't know when. I gotta make at least like 10
clips.
Not even 10 clips. I gotta get at least 10 people in here. It's got to be like, you know, me, Scott, Stu, Roger, Jordan, Steve Brown, and that's just at least those people, let alone if there's anyone else we can get in, you know. But at least it has to be at least all those guys. So, yeah, that's a lot of people. I digress. I apologize. But I'm so much stuff with the world of wrestling. Let
me see what else I got on WrestleMania next year is going to be in Philly. That was announced.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't see that. Nice.
It was announced today.
Yeah, it just announced this morning. Like I think on my way here, it popped up.
Is anybody excited about Ric Flair's last match?
Nope. Could care
No, I love Ric Flair. He should not be wrestling another match.
It's just gonna be. I don't know. I mean, it's like the whole Goldberg thing. You know, it's just gonna be crap. Like it's not. You know, and he's much older and much whatever, but it's not gonna be good. Like it's.
So before we go into the SummerSlam card, one thing I wanna ask you guys: would it, one, be a good idea, and two, will it happen? Because I think it would be in both respects. Do you think Triple H becomes the next Mr. McMahon storyline wise?
I don't,
like he did with the Authority.
I don't think he needs to.
I don't think there's somebody at the moment for him to have that kind of storyline with.
And it's been done. And, you know, it's one of those things.
The Authority's been done.
The Authority has been done. The McMahon
has been
Stone
done.
Cold has been done. And the dude's, you know, I think he's a lot more aware and conscious of his well-being.
Right. I'm not necessarily even saying himself wrestle, but he is the cerebral assassin. Like, I feel like leaning into that, and now in an official corporate manner where he's not going to be getting in the belt.
That's where I think Tommaso Ciampa would be good as an extension of him.
That's what
he's the Sicilian is at. He's the Sicilian psychopath. You know what I mean? He could be he doesn't. I'm not saying that he's not good on a mic. He's completely fine on a mic. But if someone else, if he was to work as the hand of somebody,
I think
he would. That would be amazing. And if it was just like he doesn't have to say anything, he just comes out. You know, it's like when he came back and Adam Cole was champ. He shouldn't have came out and done anything, said anything. He should have come out, looked at Adam Cole, or not even looked at Adam Cole. He should have just looked at the belt because it was him and Goldie, that the relationship with the belt. He should have ignored Adam Cole completely and just looked at the belt. You know what I mean? And that would have been a great promo.
Right.
You know, if he's like trying to look at him and he won't look at him, all he looks at is the belt. If he operates like that, again, I just want to see Tommaso Ciampa go back and make NXT what it could be, what it should be, and then it's like, okay, they're actually taking the fight to Tommaso Ciampa, and then Johnny Gargano comes back.
I just think
if
Triple H gets involved, the people are going to expect a lot, and he's not going to give them a lot. Then they're going to be pissed because he didn't. They're going to expect him to wrestle. They're going to expect, and it's just.
Well, I think he's made it very, very clear he's never stepping in the squared circle again. And I think people just need to kind of accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for this card?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do it.
So, in a no disqualification tag team match, you got the Mysterios versus the Judgment Day.
I feel the Judgment Day is going to win, but then Edge something is going to transpire.
I think
from
they're.
that.
I think Ray or I think Dominic's going to go with them.
That's so. I think
like, turn and-
one of two things happen, and
I think they
that
take
would
him.
be
Dominic turns on his father, joins Judgment Day. Judgment Day wins, or Edge comes out and costs Judgment Day the match, and Mysterios win. And because you always know when the stipulation's no disqualification, there's going to be some kind of interference.
yeah. Or throw everybody for a loop, and Edge screws over the Mysterios and takes back the Judgment Day, and because that would be no one would really see that.
No, that
because people are hell bent that he's just going to come back and screw them.
Yeah.
Right.
So to have him come back as like a darker Edge or whatever, but realign with them, no one
could
would see
work.
that coming.
Yeah. All right, so Logan Paul versus The Miz. Logan Paul is going to win.
Yeah.
The Miz is going to put him over. I feel like that's pretty solid. This is going to be more of a showcase what Logan Paul can do as a performer. Because it's essentially his first singles match. His tag match was with The Miz, so he's probably the most comfortable wrestling The Miz. The Miz.
The Miz.
All right, for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, for the millionth time, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch.
I don't want to see Belair win it anymore, but I know she's gonna. I don't want to see Becky Lynch in there either, to be honest with you. It's
I don't know. I
don't want to see Becky win as her current.
I hate that.
That's terrible. I don't. That's just a. She's like a.
Luna
really,
Vachon would be so pissed.
Like,
She'd be
it's
like,
just,
how dare you?
It's
I
just
did that 40 years ago.
right.
30 years ago.
Riddle versus Rollins. I think because Riddle's been beating him, Rollins wins. Maybe Rollins wins. You get the return of Orton, or throw everybody for a loop. You get the return of Orton, and he takes out Riddle.
Because Riddle's been using his moves and. But I think that's going to be a really good match in general.
100%. They both can perform like crazy. Then you have Liv versus Ronda for the SmackDown Women's Champion. Liv's got to keep it,
I
right?
hope so. If they give it back to Ronda, I don't know.
And I love Ronda. Don't get me wrong. I love Ronda, but like,
Liv deserves it more.
let Liv run this out.
Yeah,
let her.
She deserves it a lot more.
Well, and here's the thing: she has something to prove because she didn't just straight out beat Ronda. You know what I mean? Like she cashed in and beat Ronda after Ronda was injured, and Ronda just wrestled. Like let Liv beat Ronda straight out. Now, I have a question before I get into the next match. When you cash in the Money in the Bank, are you cashing in for both titles? Because essentially, you're not. So you only.
That's. Are you talking about like.
I'm talking about, so if Theory cashed in on Roman Reigns, obviously, even though he's the undisputed champion because he holds both titles, you can't cash in for both titles because they're not unified.
Yeah,
Well,
they are.
there
But
was a-
technically
there was
because
a
they did
unification match.
matches. That's why that was
That
more
wasn't
of my
just
point.
winner takes all.
Yeah,
It was a unification match.
So that's where I was saying earlier, like they need to make them like one belt, one tag team belt.
Gotcha.
If it was supposed to be a unification, I thought that's what was going to happen. I didn't
Because
think they'd be carrying around
because the way
like
I'm
80 belts
because the way I'm reading
Yeah, for a while, didn't the undisputed was
it was one belt.
there was one
Correct.
belt, right?
So I'm reading the way it's explained here is the name Undisputed WWE Universal Championship refers to both the WWE Championship and the WWE Universal Championship being held and defended together, although both titles remain independently active.
So then they decided after,
That they're not actually unified.
because
Yeah.
those were very clear said so many times, unification match, a unification match.
But so I think that's why they haven't been combined into one belt, because they're still independent.
I also got to say,
So they kind of backtracked and hope people forget.
another thing Steve and I were talking about. I want them to get rid of the Universal title. I hate it. I want the WWE and the Heavyweight Championship back. I want big gold back. And I want Eagle Wings
I was
back.
going to say, I want Eagle Wings
I want
back.
big gold and I want Eagle Wings
So
back.
we talked about this earlier. Usos or Street Profits. Street Profits have to win.
I hope
Street Profits better go over. They better. Otherwise, it's like they're going to be.
It's just
If they don't see, this is where they need to think. This is where they need to make changes right off the bat if they want to keep people. Because I have just been, I find WWE unwatchable. This is where they need to catch people.
I love the fact that Double J is the guest referee.
And that will open now. And that's the other thing. What's going to happen with him in there? Because he's not just going to play clean ref. So it's like, is he going to side with one of them? Is he going to try to do stuff to both of them?
Oh, he's definitely not siding with the Bloodline.
No.
Like, that would make absolutely no sense storyline-wise. Then you have Bobby Lashley versus Theory for the United States Championship.
Lashley more than likely is going to retain that, especially if they have plans for Theory in that briefcase.
And then Pat McAfee versus Happy Corbin.
I hope when he first started as an announcer, I was like, but he has grown on me.
I like his podcast. It's like us. Like that. He really is like us.
But he did. I thought, at whatever it was, WrestleMania.
Yes.
I thought he wrestled really well.
Oh, he did. He did great job.
For somebody that is, I know he was an athlete and he was a football player, but as somebody that is not like, I don't want to say not a wrestler, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he's
to
not.
to come into that, he did a great job. He sold the stunner. I mean, he kind of went across the board.
Not even sold the stunner. Like he rolled outside the ring, took a beer, and shakingly poured it in his mouth still while he was on there. That's a great shot.
Oh yeah,
that's a great thing to do. Even if they're like, "Oh, this is what you got to do," or he did it himself. Either way, he pulled it off well, and he did.
But I have to say, on Monday, I legitimately thought somebody jumped from the crowd when Corbin came out because he came barreling through the crowd. He wasn't hiding or waiting. That dude came from the back end, but like the stadium side, not like ramp side, and he just trucked through that crowd up that aisle and jumped. Like when they looked over, I was like, oh my god, like a fan, because they didn't pan over.
Right.
So I'm like, oh crap, a fan just jumped the barrier. What's going to happen? And then, you saw Corbin, kick McAfee, and I was like, that was... But then I saw another angle, and just watching this dude just full bore run down that aisle. I was like, that was perfect, because you weren't hiding, it was more organic. It was more just... We couldn't hold him back anymore, and that dude just took off from a different side
of the stadium
and came out, and attacked him. And it was, it was a good attack, because no one saw it coming. The fans didn't see it. Like I said, even watching it on TV, I was like, oh man, somebody jumped. They're going to get their asses kicked because they just jumped the barrier, and then it was Corbin.
Right.
So it was very well done, and the camera, everything about it was good. Was very good the way it was done. But I do hope McAfee wins, because he has grown on me. I like him. He's funny, but he's also really, for not being a wrestler.
He's super knowledgeable too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, he's a smart dude, and he just kind of adds it. Him and Cole work well together.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion.
So then we have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, which the talks have been too that this is actually going to be their last go at it. I personally feel that it's going to go one of three ways. You're going to get the Roman Reigns just wins and continues on his reign. You have Brock win, but Brock wins because of interference from The Rock. I feel like they're going to start setting up that WrestleMania thing either here or I feel like starting at Royal Rumble is too short of a period of time. I feel like this is a storyline that could kind of marinate. And like even like maybe Roman wants some time off. Like he's had the belt now for two. Like he's been champ for like 2 years now. Like give the man some time off. He's got like 5 kids. Like. Like let him.
He needs that shirt, the old Heath Slater shirt.
Yeah, I have that. I have that shirt. I have that shirt.
I got kids.
I need this job. Yeah, but like, I feel like putting a pause on the bloodline, or even letting the Usos continue the bloodline going, but have Roman take a little bit of a break and have like The Rock do something to set those seeds and let that feud start to play out. Or you have Theory cash in. And with the Theory cash in, I originally would have said that Theory would win. But now with Triple H being in control, I don't know where that goes.
I don't know. He in my opinion, he hasn't earned it. Again, going back to, if you want a match, you whatever, you got to earn it. He had the U.S. title. Again, did you really earn that spot? There are a lot of people that
I don't even know if he earned the U.S. title spot.
That's what I mean. So it's like, to me, I'm sorry, dude, but you should, if you're going to cash it in, you should be one of the very few that doesn't have a successful cash in.
Right.
And have to work for it again.
Well, yeah, I mean, he could also cash in during the match, not technically after.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And then that's how also either changes hands or stays on rope. One of the
Well, and like, so if he cashes in, it turns into a triple threat, and now that becomes like, now you're allowed interference in it.
Yep.
And that could be another way for The Rock to come out.
Right.
Or if there's interference in the use,
like he could try, he could try to like prove himself and not be like, I'm not going to cash in after. I'm going to wrestle both of you.
Right.
I just, let it go. They have a year. Why do they just constantly do this? Oh, within a month of getting it, you're going to cash it in.
I mean, Seth Rollins almost went a whole entire year.
But that's what draws you in, because you kind of almost forget.
He held it the longest, didn't he? He's got the longest hold on it, didn't he?
Can't remember, because Roman, I think they said on Saturday it'll be 699 days that Roman's had the title.
Right.
But I want to say there may have been a couple others that went really long without cashing it in, like close to the year mark.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, for some reason, I don't know
just
why.
After WrestleMania.
Yeah, I want to say Dolph Ziggler, maybe. I don't know why.
I think
he
Dolph
had
was
it for a while.
one of the longest holds too.
But yeah, like I said, I don't. If he cashes it in, like if they give it to him, like I don't know, man. That just kind of that would be a really bad move.
I think if they want to win him over, especially as a face, have him do that. Have him.
So Seth Rollins had it 280 days.
Yeah. See.
Right. No, he had 273. Matt Hardy had it 280 days.
Oh wow.
Ziggler had it 267. Sheamus had it for 163, but the longest held Money in the Bank briefcase was from, drumroll please, 287 days held by Carmella.
Oh, I completely forgot
Carmella,
about that.
That's right. Yeah. If they want to push Theory as a face, have him come in, make the match the triple threat, and actually have him hold his own. And then he is about to win clean and gets like screwed over by the Usos.
Yeah.
That would push him, and then he loses
absolutely.
it. He loses his ability, and let's say Brock then wins it at the end, because then maybe The Rock does come out. You could have a lot of things happen in that match. In one match, you could set up, okay, Brock is now your champ again.
Or
there's so many things, in one match, you can have all of these things happen by playing your cards right.
Oh, yeah.
So how about playing it this way? Theory comes running out. Reigns had just knocked Lesnar over. Reigns turns, looks at Theory. Theory's running, and Theory stops. Looks around and goes, nah. Brock crushes Reigns, takes him to Suplex City, pins Roman, and then costs Roman the belts,
Without-
and he doesn't
without
actually
even
cash
cashing.
because that in turn would put Theory over with the crowd.
Yep.
And he gets to keep the briefcase. And then that sets up a storyline with Roman and Theory. So it's not necessarily setting Theory up to cash in, but causes havoc with Roman just like, you cost me it from your distraction.
Do you think anyone's ever going to use a cash in on a mid card title?
Well, if you remember, Charlotte used it for the NXT belt.
Yep.
Right.
But
It was still a top tier belt in
Right,
on
but-
NXT.
I don't ever see the point. Like, the point of having that contract is
Become the champion.
the champ, not to become a mid-card champ.
So before we end, I have one question that I want to ask you guys and see what you guys feel about it.
I won't do that with you on tape.
Quite, Todd, don't worry. I know Todd will. Quite often we talk about, okay, what's going to happen with storyline? What's going to happen with this? What's going to happen with that? Do you guys think with Vince leaving, with it going to PG or with going to TV14, you know, Stephanie's in charge of, or Stephanie's CEO with
Nick Khan.
with Nick Khan, Triple H is on creative, Shawn Michaels calling matches on NXT if they're allowed to really do what they want. Do we think that the wrestling itself gets better?
I think yes. I think the matches won't be as predictable.
Because
I think they'll take more risks.
They'll have more freedom.
Yeah, and not even so much. I don't need to exactly see risks in a match. Just
I don't mean physical risks. I
better
mean
wrestling.
Yeah.
right.
Period.
Yeah.
Better like on any given. Let's compare Raw, okay, to Dynamite. Okay, let's just say we're gonna call these shows as, you know, even as the flagship shows. On any given night, every single match on Dynamite is going to be better.
Yeah.
A better wrestling match than the match on Raw.
Correct.
I would say if you were to go
9 times out of 10.
10 matches apiece, at least 9 of those matches on AEW are going to be better.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not crapping on the wrestlers. I'm saying, you know, it really became sports entertainment when AEW is professional wrestlers.
Yes.
Right. I think the biggest.
So are they going to let them become professional wrestlers again? Because back in the day, even if you knew like who was going to win, you know, between Kurt Angle and Triple H, that match was going to be freaking insane.
And I think the main thing about AEW was that, besides Tony Khan, it was put together by wrestlers.
Right, by wrestlers.
So now with Triple H, you know, Vince was never a wrestler. Yeah. He would go out, he had his feuds, he took a lot of bumps and he did more than Tony Khan will ever do when it comes to that aspect.
100%.
But now Triple H is there. Now he, being a wrestler, it's a whole different.
Talked about being one of the best ring generals, too.
Yeah.
So he's going to
That's what I'm saying.
Look at it from a wrestler's point of view instead of a promoter's point of view.
Which is why I think like his first project, the Cruiserweight Classic, was such a success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first Cruiserweight Classic was, if you want to watch wrestling, go back on the Peacock Network and watch that. If you've never watched it, you will see wrestling like you've never seen. You know,
and that's the biggest difference
So
with Triple H too. Is Triple H isn't hung up on wrestler stereotypes much like Vince was.
Yeah.
It always took a lot for these non-stereotypical guys to get pushes, like your Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston's. Vince literally had to have the crowd screaming at him for him to put them over, where Triple H recognizes talent regardless of what package it's in. And like you have your guys like Ciampa, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, like these guys who aren't necessarily built like that stereotypical 80s
not built like
big
Kevin Nash.
strong man.
Yeah.
And I don't think the product suffers at all. I think it does elevate it, and I think it will. And I hate to say this because I love what AEW is doing. I think this very securely puts WWE back on that top throne and being the place to be, especially if Triple H follows through and letting the wrestlers have more contributions to creative, to let them have a little bit more control over their destiny, and is a better person to work for than Vince was. I think you will see some talent return. I think the product is going to be not just watchable, but must-see TV again. And I truly am. I've been so excited since this announcement on Friday about, Sunday of Triple H being in control of this, because, and I've said it here before, Triple H is one of my personal top 5 guys.
Yeah.
And
I love Triple H.
And I know he'll be able to play into the nostalgia of old wrestlers, bringing people back, just even in talking or managerial roles and everything else like that. And I'm so excited of the future of this product, because for the last 15 years, it hasn't been something. It's been such an up and down roller coaster.
Yes,
it's had its high points. There have been really good high points.
Yeah,
but there's been a lot of lows.
Brock coming back in the new persona. I mean, but it's like that. Edge coming back in the Rumble and AJ coming in as Rumble have been the best things, and that happened. I mean, that was what, 2016 when AJ came in, And
I would even put Rollins' cash in as one of the best moments. Too.
I mean, that was probably the best cash in.
Right. Oh,
I would put, and I'm not even like the hugest Rollins person. Like
I love.
I mean, that's another thing. I hope that happens. I really hope that the current Rollins ends, and I want to see the more.
He actually digs this persona,
cerebral assassin type character that he had prior. But because it's not organic for him. The constant laugh, but all this.
Burn it down.
It's not him. He's burn it down.
They did it on purpose and made Becky like that, so now they're the same person.
Yeah,
right.
They need to end that. The other
thing that Triple H I think is going to do is not focus on numbers, ratings, and money. They need to bring back the surprises.
Yes,
they need to bring
especially
back
in the Rumble.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this year's Rumble.
This year's Rumble, I think I'm going to be so excited. I need to see. I need surprises. The Rumble needs to have surprises. I don't want to know who number 1 is. I don't want to know any number. It's like, you're going to wrestle, you're going to be number 1, and then you're going to be 30. They need to get rid of that.
Well, I'll put money on it. The Rock comes in. That's the only other.
Every single person needs to be.
That's the only other way I can see. Roman retains, and then The Rock comes in, wins the Rumble to get the WrestleMania match.
But they need to do it across the board. They need to stop. Tonight on Raw, somebody say. No, because you're doing that for ratings. People are only tuning in to see that, then they're turning it off.
The only time the advertisements ever work is when they're doing like the 25th anniversary, or Stone Cold's going to be here tonight to talk about the King in the Ring, blah 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 blah. Like, you don't need to advertise Raw or SmackDown for me, because guess what? I know when they're on. I know 8:00 Monday and Friday. They're going to be on. I don't need to see the ad. Anybody who's watched wrestling for the last 25 years knows Monday Night Raw is 8:00 on the USA Network. Like that is you can bet on that every time and win.
The problem is that people stopped watching, so the only way to get them to watch was to tell them what was going to happen.
Right.
But then, to me, that's not your real loyal fans. Right. Your real loyal fans, like you said, know when it's on, know whatever. And that was the cool part about back in the day. You saw title changes on Raw.
Yes.
You saw
something that needs
people
to get
coming back that like the Hardys, to me, was one of the best kept secret comebacks ever. And especially with the era of the internet, everything gets leaked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had heard rumblings that they were coming back, but nothing was set in stone. There's actually leaked reports before they came back that they weren't there.
Yeah.
So there was the misinformation put out there. But I
want to see Ty Dillinger come back.
That'd be great.
Because you haven't really seen him in AEW stuff. Bring him back. Wait, and bring him back in the Rumble as number 10. Yeah. Not like, it's like, they did it. It's like when they did it the second year in a row, then it was like predictable, and it was like, oh, don't make him do it again. The first year he came out as number 10, that was amazing. But
I
now
want
to do it again to bring him back in.
Well, it's like all the
besides Bray, the one person I want to see come back, I want Braun back. Like, Braun, when they let him be Braun and let him loose on that company, was so much fun because he could play the comedic. Like, remember when he was out there when he had the thing with Elias and he had the giant bass guitar that Braun is such a great talent.
Yeah, because he did the switch. Like, he's goofy, he's funny.
Yeah,
let him do that, and then when it's like what's his name's character? The dude. He's one of the Good Brothers now, but they had him when he came out. Like Gallows, he'd come out, his tongue was hanging out, and then the bell would ring, and then he'd destroy his opponent, and the bell would ring, and then he'd go back to that. Yeah. Like, I'm not comparing him, but that's what it's like. He's joking around, he's funny, he's having a good time, and then when it's time to destroy people,
it's
flipping
time
to destroy people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because he's a monster, and he's the monster among men, and he's going to do that.
And like, I guess another report I read too that USA is through the roof excited for the fact that Triple H is in control of creative now. That I guess for a while now they've just been, I don't know if necessarily they were thinking about cutting ties with WWE, but they were not.
It was stale.
Yeah.
It was stale. I mean, that was the only.
Really was.
Well, I saw too that the Hulu contract is up this year.
That'll suck because that's where I watch it a lot.
Yeah, but they can move it to Peacock.
Right, but Peacock, it doesn't go on for, well, it could be because of the
Hulu.
Hulu.
If it like Raw and stuff,
they could stream it live on Peacock.
Or
that could work too.
So,
wow, we ran for an hour and a half. I don't even remember the last time we've done this.
An hour and 34 minutes. I mean, this has been. We hit a lot of stuff.
We had a lot of things to unpack.
We did.
We didn't even touch AEW and Fighter Fest.
We didn't even get to it. We couldn't.
Because there were some good matches on that too. So
I mean, the other thing about that I'm excited for too is not just what it's going to bring for this company, but what it's going to bring for wrestling as a whole. Because
it's going to elevate the whole sport.
It's going to elevate the entire sport. Because
100%.
AEW has been helping to elevate the entire sport. And and it's just going to get better. It's just going to get so much better. And then the other thing, wondering too is, with Stephanie being CEO, do they also loosen the reins on how like AEW does? So the AEW has people that are going to be at the ICW show in Rome. Are they going to do that?
I don't see them doing that. I don't see them pimping out their talent like that, giving them the freedom like that. I don't see them going that far.
What if they get hurt?
Right.
I mean, that's probably the one thing they look at too.
Yeah, it's a big liability.
What if they get hurt at an indie promotion? Then we got to explain that these guys were over here, and you know what I mean. Like, unfortunately, I think that's how the WWE views it.
And as they should, they're billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
Like,
do they? Another thing that was one of my favorite thing about indies, especially a place like ICW, is you get to meet your wrestlers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to AEW. There was no one out there. There was no, they kind of play it the same way. It's it's a big time. There's there's lots and lots of people. Are either of those companies ever going to run like that?
No.
Are you going to meet
here's why.
Meet your heroes?
No, absolutely not. Because here's why. And I'm going to let you guys know that I'm about to swear. Society is fucked.
Yep.
There are some people that cannot differentiate that Triple H, his real name is Paul Levesque, and he's a human being that is a father, that is a husband, and they think he's Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
People are nuts.
Yeah. Oh no! Are you kidding me?
Somebody meet somebody that they hate their character but can't differentiate that.
Yeah,
I agree.
How do you know that somebody's not going to all of a sudden pull out a knife and start to stab somebody because they can't.
The John Lennon effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're 100% right.
There was a 2CW show. It was the one that Roddy Piper was at. The best guy ever, by the way. And there was a tag team there. They were from Ohio. And some dude that was there that hated them and had a sign in the crowd. Fine. But then what came intermission, and he went and stood 8 feet from their table with their sign staring right at him. And I went over to talk to them, and I bought something from them that I am now 2 sizes too big to wear because, dad bod. But, and of course it's packed away now, and I can't even remember what the team's name was. But I was like, I was like, what's this guy's deal? And he's like, he was like, he follows us, he hates us. And I was like, he knows this is scripted, right? And he was like,
that's the thing, unfortunately.
and I walked over and I said something to dude. I was like, dude, you need to chill. Keep that for, and I said something to the guy, like, and he was just like so focused on his hate for this tag team. And it was like,
it's just
you need to
unfortunate
chill,
that's
bro.
what the world has come to, or a lot in this country. But that's where I just, no, because people just can't. You know what? To like a character, hate a character, it's one thing. But you also need to step back at the end of the day and say, they're a real person. They have a family. They're a father. They're a mother, brothers, and people get so, not all, but a lot of people get so absorbed in it, they can't see past that. Right. They see their character and they think, and I've seen interviews with those guys where I'm like, yeah, we were at a gas station, Triple H, I think it was like years ago. So a guy at a gas station and somebody just came up and started screaming at me, about whatever because of my character. Like, not me. I was in there as Paul buying something from the gas station, and this dude comes in and just starts ripping me apart for my character. So I hate to say it because you know what, meeting people is cool. I look at famous people as they're just regular people with really cool jobs. Yeah. Now, some of them it goes to, and not just wrestling. I've met people in bands that were just complete a-holes that had no humbleness, no respect. Right. And I've seen bands and other, whatever that will take the time to talk to you for 20 minutes and take a picture and whatever. I just think that people, especially this day and age, are so just that you have that happen and you're going to have somebody somewhere just go that. I mean, look at the people that tried to, that attacked what's-his-face during the Hall of Fame induction.
Oh. Yeah, people are jumping.
But you know what I mean? Like stuff that, it's
people
like,
are jumping on stage trying to get Dave Chappelle and Tom Morello and
people, you can't, unfortunately. The fun of that has shrunk because of the way society has become.
Unfortunately, like the internet and social media has not helped it, but then also the lockdown then really didn't help because that multiplied things that happened on the internet because that was your only way to end it. And again, like I've said, a buddy, Nate Olson said, people have forgotten what it's like to get punched in the face.
People forgot what it was like to be a human being because, and that's just what it was.
And people think that they can say and do whatever they want, and there's not going to be repercussions anymore. And
then this thing,
should be getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, all right. We got a call.
Yeah, I should probably get back to my job.
40. So if you need ink, if you need piercings, go to Rockin' Horse Tattoo in New Hartford. If you need apparel, if you need anything printed on anything, go to Seasonal Sports, all right? And if you want to
clear your fog out of your mind.
Look at this upgrade right here. I just took one right before the show, okay? Grape. It was the first time trying the grape one. It was amazing. It was really good. FreemanFormula.com. If you use the promo code Disruption, you get 15% off. All right?
1-5%, guys.
Right? That do it, okay? And go to their website because they have plenty of other stuff for you to use other than this. I use this as often as I can.
I use it daily.
It's okay. It's great. But then they have tons. Just go to the website. Tons of stuff, all right? Check out every other show on the D. Todd, plug yourself.
Todd time. Every night now, except Sundays, literally. Monday through Friday from 8 to midnight, Saturday mornings from 6 to 10. It's the best way to start your Saturday off.
I know. Like, yeah.
It is.
And especially imagine if you went if you went to sleep listening to Todd Time,
And then you
and then
wake
woke
up.
up listening to
there
Todd
we
Time
go.
on Saturday, I mean, that's just going to set off your whole weekend.
Yeah, of course, it's, 92.7 The Drive. I normally wear a shirt, but I didn't have any clean ones. So I also want to let everybody know that I survived the coming of Gozer in 1984.
Yeah, that's awesome.
See, it was the year before I was born.
I was
but
actually like 2, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's all
I was
right.
1.
Garrett was 10.
I was 1.
But also check out everything else on The Drive, Genesee Joe, The Recovery Room, Lady Di. It's all a great station with great
Yeah,
people.
and
You
again,
have so much content out there locally, guys.
Yeah. And again,
Support it.
the ICW Rome show is coming August 13th. If you need tickets, hit us up, hit up all the locations.
Well, message
Check
us.
them
Don't
out.
hit us.
Yeah,
please.
don't
We
actually-
see what happens when Garrett gets hit.
Yeah, I didn't get hit. I was trying to break up a fight.
No, I'm talking about when
No,
you got super kicked.
kicked.
He forgot about it. He got hit.
Oh,
so
that?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I barely remembered it. I had to watch it to see what happened. Shut up. You wouldn't have done anything. You wouldn't even be able to see you in the thing. You're smaller than it. You're shorter than everybody else there. You wouldn't have even seen you there. Okay?
Why are you getting so hostile?
Because I'm angry. I'll hit you with our own belt.
I was going to say.
Our own belt that's right there. Show him that pretty belt. Show it to him.
The undisputed Hardcore Disruption Championship. Where you at, C? Where you at, buddy?
You can't beat us for that. No one's gonna beat us for that. That's ours forever. Look at that. It's so pretty. You can barely even see it when you're holding it like that
So
because it
shiny.
shines. It's shiny. You gotta
Look
tip it
look
down.
at it. Look at it. Oh, I'm blinding you with the gold.
Next week we will not be on at noon. We will be on later in the day.
Correct.
I'm going to assume 4-ish, 5-ish. We'll be
just
on later in the day.
let us
I got to
know.
take my kids to a soccer camp thing. It's going to be cool. But then we'll be on later in the day. All right. So
What time does Stu get out of work?
I don't know. Maybe we can get Stu on. That'd be cool. I'll hit up Stu.
All right. Well,
See if we can
message
get him
him.
on. That'd be.
Stop
That'd be
hitting
With his hitting.
I said hit him up, not like hit him.
Uppercut.
Yeah. Uppercut him. Get on the freaking show.
Ninja kick the damn rabbit.
All right, we'll see everybody later in the day next week.
Later, guys.
Peace.